Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. It always seems impossible until it's done. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. I am fundamentally an optimist. Whether that comes from nature or nurture, I cannot say. Part of being optimistic is keeping one's head pointed toward the sun, one's feet moving forward. It is better to lead from behind and to put others in front, especially when you celebrate victory when nice things occur. You take the front line when there is danger. Then people will appreciate your leadership. No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his background, or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love, for love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. As I walked out the door toward the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison. A good head and a good heart are always a formidable combination. Do not judge me by my successes, judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. It is not the kings and generals that make history but the masses of the people, the slaves, the peasants, the artisans. The intellectuals, the ordinary men and women who fought and bled and died to build the world. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. There is no easy walk to freedom anywhere, and many of us will have to pass through the valley of the shadow of death again and again before we reach the mountaintop of our desires. Money won't create success, the freedom to make it will. It is not our differences that divide us. It is our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences. A good leader can engage in a debate frankly and thoroughly, knowing that at the end he and the other side must be closer, and thus emerge stronger. You don't have that idea when you are arrogant, superficial, and uninformed. Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. It is an ideal which I hope to live for and to achieve. But if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die. There is nothing like returning to a place that remains unchanged to find the ways in which you yourself have altered. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. There can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children. A good friend can tell you what is the matter with you in a minute. He may not seem such a good friend after telling. There is no easy way to walk to freedom, and many of us will have to pass through the valley of the shadow of death again and again before we reach the mountaintop of our desires. I have walked that long road to freedom. I have tried not to falter, I have made missteps along the way. But I have discovered the secret that after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. I have taken a moment here to rest, to steal a view of the glorious vista that surrounds me, to look back on the distance I have come. But I can only rest for a moment, for with freedom come responsibilities, and I dare not linger, for my long walk is not ended. We must use time wisely and forever realize that the time is always ripe to do right. It is said that no one truly knows a nation until one has been inside its jails. A nation should not be judged by how it treats its highest citizens, but its lowest ones. Freedom is indivisible. The chains on any one of my people were the chains on all of them. The chains on all of my people were the chains on me. Courageous people do not fear forgiving, for the sake of peace. I was not a messiah, but an ordinary man who had become a leader because of extraordinary circumstances.